All right, welcome back. We are here today with one of my favorite people, Mrs. Lori Jones.
You know you're lying about that.
It's a very tolerable human being that I am happy to have finally gotten into the studio for an awesome podcast. So,
thank you. Love to be here.
We have talked about this for like 2 years.
Yeah, I don't know what took so long.
I don't know. You know, I've learned I'm a serial procrastinator.
Yeah.
And it's bad.
It happens.
I think that you guys are like beating this out of me though, because I've gotten, the more I talk to y'all, the more I'm like, okay, I'm not doing enough.
Yeah.
So I need to keep doing more. And then I'm like, okay, you know what?
Pressured by the Joneses.
A little bit. That's okay. Hey, that's a good thing. That has led to a lot of positive growth in the last few months. So
that's good to hear.
So you are quite the busy individual.
I am. Busy bee.
So I kind of want to walk through that a little bit, because one of the reasons I want you on, because you do so many things, but you do so many things so well too.
Aw.
But so there's Lori Jones Home.
Yes.
Which that's what, interior
design, staging, consulting, all the things.
And then you are one half of Old South.
Yep. Construction. So I help with all of that too, meeting with draftsmen, space planning, all the things, helping customers figure out what they really want, because most people just don't know.
Right. And then on the other side of that, you have how we met you is through Lush.
Yes. I'm one of the owners of Lush Med Spa. So, yeah, I'm partners with Joe and Amy Shirley. So, yeah.
Gosh. And then amongst that, you were also at one point still doing like all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. So when we decided to open Lush, I was in medical sales. So I was doing laboratory sales. I did pharmaceutical sales through pharmacies. I worked for a bracing company. So I was in medicine actually as a ultrasound tech for 15 years. And then when I came out of that, I went into sales. And then from sales, then entrepreneur. Yeah. Whew. And I'm still in sales. I just sell myself every day.
Right. You do a great job of that too. I mean, it's like, it's funny. I mean, it's the process of, design and, whether it's like we had you guys come in and redo, stuff at our house. Yeah. And it's crazy because it's so overwhelming, but then you just kind of like, you both of you have made this, you and Wesley both have made this so easy just to like, we got it. This is obviously, it's like when people come to us, right? Like when they come here for, what we do, it's like they know,
overwhelmed.
Right. They're overwhelmed by the process, and we know it. This is what we do every day. And so we try to do a good job of making sure that we walk people through that. But I feel like you guys have just mastered that 100%. And like we walked into, when we asked you guys, hey, can you, redo the bathrooms and all of this stuff? And it started with one small thing that then progressed into
it snowballed
into this huge thing of all the bathrooms and then all the stuff, the stairs and everything. But it really, going into that, I was like, I don't know what I want.
Yeah.
But you were able to just sit down and say, okay, let's talk this and this, and
Most people can see a picture of a space and be like, I would really like to have that, but then they can't envision what they have currently becoming that and like how to do that. So I have to say he and I both are very calming. It's just a natural thing that we have. We're told over and over and over again, like, I was really panicking and you calmed me immediately and made me feel like, one, it's not weird for someone to be anxious about redoing their space or their business. It's a lot. It's money, it's time, it's, all the things. But then a lot of people too, they're just like, they almost like freeze up when they have to make decisions. It's a problem a lot of people have. And so we're very good at saying, okay, so if this is what you want, this is how we get here. These are the steps. What is your budget? Got it. Okay, then this is the materials that we need to look at. We need to stay away from those, because that's the other thing too, is people are like, I want a Ferrari, but I can afford a Kia. And so you have to know, okay, well, to do that, then we need to hone in the project and keep it around this, and we need to look at these, these products, not those. So, and if you do that, if you make those parts of the things easy, the rest just falls into place.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, that really was it. Because I mean, it's basically just like, hey, we got you. You know, just
It'll
let's
be
start
fine.
here.
Yep.
And that was the first thing that you guys had talked about was like, what are you, kind of where are we at budget wise? What are you thinking? What are you wanting? And then you kind of figured it out from there.
Yeah.
And it's cool because it's cool and it's not cool because I really wanted to move and now I don't because
it's so nice.
Now I'm stuck in this house because I love it. And we talk about it every day, and it's cool because like now we ended up even adding on the bedroom and on the back end of it, and I think that's like one of my favorite things that tied everything together.
Yeah.
And every time I leave the house, it's completely spotless. My bathroom stays spotless, by the way. There's no hair in the sink. There's no nothing because it's like we're just so proud of it.
Yeah.
And you just like what it was before was that 90s builder grade white Formica, just
horrible corner
disgusting.
tub.
Yeah, like our shower, we couldn't both really. I mean, we were like an RV shower.
It was literally like a 2x2.
Yes,
It was so
it
little.
was so small. It was so unbelievably small that like I get it when you shower with your spouse, you're supposed to like you're supposed to be close.
Yeah,
I'm
but
like,
water should at least run around you.
but we can't. Like it's. Like the water's basically hitting her back and my back because we have to do this because it can't even get here because we're stuck, you know? And like, but every time we leave now, everything is spotless. I got my lights turned on. I have like the little screensavers, you get the jazz screensavers going. I come home and I walk in every day and I'm just like,
it's like a hug.
it is.
Yeah. It's like a hug.
I tell her all the time, like, and Rachel will be behind me, getting ready, and she's just leaving shit.
Yeah.
Everywhere, and I'm like,
Stop it.
I was like, when I come back, it is going to feel like, it's going to feel.
So that's my big thing too about a lot of people don't realize, but when your space is pretty, and it feels the way you want it to feel, it starts your day and ends your day in a calming way. So like I'm really big about resets. I reset every night and I reset every morning. So before we go to bed, living room's picked up, couches are in order, throw blankets are where they go, island is cleaned off, dishes are cleared, all of our things for the next morning are done, lunches are packed in the refrigerator, everybody's clothes are laid out the night before. And then in the mornings after we get the kids off, I reset too. That's when I make beds, tidy up, if there's any dishes from the morning, those go in the dishwasher. I run the dishwasher. I do resets every night, every morning. And it, one, keeps everything where it's supposed to be. But then also, two, my brain functions at a higher capacity when those things are done. When I walk in and it's in order and my space is welcoming, not chaotic, I perform better. As a mom, as a wife, as a business person, I don't do chaos. And what kills me too is I even have friends who their house is just always kind of chaos. And they're like, well, I just don't have time for that. I don't have time to put that much energy into it. And I'm like, but you have time for your world to be so chaotic that you're not being the best you. Like it takes literally just, and I get my family involved. I mean, we've trained our kids and I've trained my husband to be a part of that. Like they know mom is a better mom when I help her do these things. And so it's just the culture in our household that I've created.
Well, that's important too, just having the kids do that because they're going to carry that. They're there may be a stage in their life where they're filthy and messy, whatever, when they're adults, but eventually they're going to revert back to that because they know, right? Like, I mean, I think it was kind of that way for me. I know for years we lived in just complete chaos in our house, and then we finally started fixing some things in it, and this was just all like when I was growing up. I noticed they'd start like making it a little bit nicer, and then it became like, hey, let's get this thing, let's keep this clean, and it's something about that, like, just, I don't know if it's just one less thing I have to worry about, but it also, you walk into a nice space, it feels good, and that keeps you in a good frame of mind.
It does. It's just healthy. I mean, it's just healthy.
There's nothing worse to me than having a bad day and then coming home to just this absolute disaster of a place, because that's my place where I'm supposed to be the most comfortable. That's home base, right? That's there for a reason. And I can't do the mess. I can't. It'll get that way, but I have learned
But get it back.
Yep. But the kids, we they're doing their dishes. They're doing. I've got both of our girls doing their own laundry now, so it's this
Which
whole
is amazing.
process. Yes, and they do a pretty good job.
Yeah.
If you stay on them, if not, it's just going to be in a hamper for a week, and then.
Hey, right now I've got 5 baskets that need folded, but it's baseball season and we're at the ballpark constantly. So
yeah, that's a never-ending thing.
But like our daughter that's 25, like she at 17 years old, she graduated high school and moved 3.5 hours away to play softball, and she literally immediately called me and was like, I am so thankful that you taught me how to cook, how to do laundry, how to maintain a home. She was like, these other girls on my team are clueless. She was like, they're all of a sudden all away from mom, and they don't know how to cook a home-cooked meal. They don't know how to run a dishwasher. They're just clueless. But we've taught our kids that, like, this is how we do life. It's just skill set, man.
Well, it's all habits. It's just habit forming. You just make it the
is.
habits. And I think too, I know you're big on this, but it's like little wins throughout the day.
Build.
And it's just, you start your day with the simple task, make the bed, brush the teeth, do this, like just little things. Because if you don't, first off, it all just stacks up, and it's got to get done at some point.
Yep.
Unless you're just
And
that
it becomes
person.
a muscle memory almost.
Right.
Like it's automatic. And like I told you, I'm kind of bougie, so like I make our bed every
Kind of bougie?
morning. Well, maybe a lot of bougie, but it's fine. But I make my bed every morning, and I spray our bed with a good smelling linen spray. But then at night, when I walk in there, like my lamps are glowing, and it helps my body like wind down. So the bed's made. I get to pull the covers back. When I pull the covers back, I smell the scent. It makes me just feel good, and I'm like, oh, this is a good end today. You know what I mean? Like I don't know, those little things go a long way, man.
I never thought that I would be into that, and I am. It's become like my favorite thing. Ask Rachel.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous because every single time we go out, and if I know that we're coming back at night, I have the whole ambiance of everything.
Yeah.
It looks like I'm trying to set the mood, which maybe I am a little bit, but it's fine.
But it just makes your soul feel good.
It does.
I mean, I'll turn our fireplace on and have some of my battery operated candles flickering, and but it's just, I don't know, it's a hug.
Oh, I need to try the battery operated candles. We
Oh,
got
love
we have
'em.
hundreds of them.
I
We
have them on
everywhere.
remote, so my remote's just like candlelight.
Okay, I'm gonna have to do that. I still have the Harry Potter candles hanging from the ceiling in the living room.
Y'all always end up living those over.
We took them. We had them when you guys redid everything, and then we put the new hall light in, which I just absolutely love. I still
Yes.
love, and it still kind of fits the vibe with the candles
does.
there a little
It
bit.
does.
But we don't even use the candles because they freaking die.
Yep.
And then I'm like, it's a lot
Yeah,
of work.
I love battery operated candles because it gives me the flicker without having to worry about forgetting to blow them out.
I'll try that. You were talking about resets, and it was interesting. I had this thought recently, and it's like one of the biggest things for people who are trying to like change their life is to get out of the circumstances that you're in, right? Sometimes that's just completely moving away.
Right.
Sometimes it's just getting out of your own house and moving to just move to a new house in the same town.
Right.
Different side of town, different people, different scene, something to get you out of this rut or get you out of whatever that you're feeling that you feel that you need to make big changes. And I think I've learned something is redoing your space is the exact same.
It is
'Cause
completely.
it felt like once we redid everything, once you guys had come in and everything was completed, and it really didn't feel like I was in the same house.
Yeah, change the energy.
Yeah. And then we did this, and then we started with this, and then it was like, well, I want it to, and that's exactly right. It changed the whole energy of this whole space. I go in, I actually look forward to going home. I look forward to being there. But it was so interesting because it motivated me. Like, oddly, I didn't expect that. That's like the one,
Yeah.
like,
Surprise you.
why do I feel motivated all of a sudden? Why do I feel, and it was, some of that was, okay, we've been here for 10 years and we've looked at this absolute nightmare of a space. And now it's this high-end, super fancy wet room with all the good bougie things. You got the bidets with the heated toilet seat, which, by the way, if you do not have that, do that. It will
Get
change
them
your
now.
life.
Yes,
Yeah.
it will.
Yes. Yeah.
Now I've got to buy one for my 10-year-old.
Oh my gosh! Look, our girls are coming downstairs to
use
use
those,
the bathrooms
yeah.
because of that in the middle of the night.
Yeah,
2 o'clock in the morning.
Harper has asked for one for Christmas for her bathroom. I'm like, how many 10-year-olds say, can I have a bidet in my bathroom? Mine, just my kid.
And they're not that, it's like they're not that expensive.
They're really not. They're really not.
You don't have to have the $1,500, walk in the room and the seat lifts and it plays music.
I do want that one. I may upgrade mine and let her have mine. I don't know, maybe.
Right. Oh, I love that though.
But yeah, they're pretty fabulous.
But like I said, I think it's tremendous. I think some people just look at it as just, I just want a nice space, but you don't realize what that does to you mentally.
Well, and there's a lot of people too that think you have to like actually redo. Like we did a lot at your house, and I mean we do a lot at a lot of houses. But you don't even have to do that much. I mean, like in a bedroom, if you just change your linens and your lamps, or change the way your furniture's laid out, or add a rug if you don't have one, or change the rug. Those little things, if you don't have the budget to completely redo a space, it can change everything just by mixing it up a little bit. And I don't know, there's just a lot of people that just, I think, exist in their spaces instead of living in them. And that's why I pride myself so much, like when people come to our house. We have a big house, but my whole goal was to have a big house that didn't feel that way. I wanted people to come and just feel home. And I have straight up had people come over the very first time to my house and fall asleep on the back porch or in the living room. And that is the biggest compliment to me, because that means that their soul felt calm, that they were able to do that. And one of them, that happened one time, and the wife was like, I'm so embarrassed. He is asleep. I was like, that is not embarrassing. That is not embarrassing. Like, that is the biggest compliment to me, who designed the space, that he was that relaxed in my home.
See, I love it.
Yeah.
And I as someone that's over there 3 days a week.
Yeah.
Like, I can attest that it 100% is designed that way.
Yeah.
You have, we've got to shoot in there, which, like, makes me never want to come back into this space again. But it's just crazy because you really have done, like, every space. It just feels like, I don't even know the word that I'm using for it. I mean, but it is like a calming, you feel like you're.
It's warmth. It's cozy. Yeah.
You also feel like you're in a magazine. So there's that. You can tell someone who knows what they're doing has done this.
I mean,
So
I love that. What's funny is I of course critique myself, I feel like, to the highest level. And so sometimes I'm like, am I really good enough to even be advertising myself as this? And then people like y'all are like, absolutely, I never want anyone else to touch my spaces ever again. Like, yeah. So
yeah, because you'll do stuff. Which is so interesting too, because like you will find things that every person would look at and be like, there's no way that this has any business being in this space. And you take it and you'll put it there, and then we're all like, well, damn.
Yeah.
That worked. Okay. I know that, when we were going through my great-grandmother's house and we were finding all this stuff, and, they're getting ready to do this estate sale, and you're looking at all these things that I have looked at for my whole life and just been like, that is the ugliest thing. That's so stupid. I hate this. I hate this. Hate this. And, this is typical.
And it was treasures to me.
Yeah. And you're just like, oh my gosh, this thing right here, this thing, and this and this. Yep. And it was funny. One of the things that you had pointed out that you really liked actually made its way into the book wall set over there, because Rachel was like, she saw it and she started thinking, and she was like, wait, oh, that's actually a good idea.
Yes.
And so you told me not to take anything out of the house, but you didn't tell Rachel. So
she told me, she was like, it's here, but if you really want it, you can have it. I was like, I already have at least one of those.
Yeah.
But
I just thought it was funny.
But I also really find, and I think that's why my style is a little bit different too than most people, I really find joy in old things. I love things that have stories, and like, luckily I have a husband that likes to indulge in me, but I love an antique store. I love thrift store. I went to Goodwill yesterday. I love Goodwill stores. A lot of my wardrobe comes from there. I don't know. I just really like things that have a past. it's character. I feel like today's world, everybody is in IKEA, and everything is, oh, you can put this together at home, and everything is, the convenience. And whereas I'd rather have something that's 100 years old, that was built in someone's shop with wood and wood glue, and a carpenter who cared. And I don't know, I would just, hands down, that's what I would take. I went yesterday and drove to Moundville and loaded a super old dresser up in the back of my car to put in one of my houses because it's a piece of art. I don't want a brand new dresser. I want a dresser that, got to be put together by somebody's grandpa. That's what I want.
Yeah.
So
you do a great job of finding that stuff too, because it's just everywhere you look.
Oh yeah, yeah. But it's got a character.
Right.
It's not an IKEA shelf.
Right. Yeah, I know when we were redoing our stuff, we got down to the point of just like having no budget left. So I just got a bunch of stuff off of Amazon, and I was like, okay, but it's not the same. I mean, I still love, like,
Yes.
but 100% get
And
what
it
you're
serves
saying.
the purpose.
Yeah.
That's, I think a lot of people too, and that's fine because you're not blowing your budget. It
Right.
serves a purpose. And there's still some great, I buy
yeah.
online all the time. But I also feel like if you step out of your box and you go to the antique stores or you go to the secondhand stores and find those pieces, that becomes your artwork. So when you've got, and if you look around my house, my coffee table, I've told you, like, my coffee table's 200 years old. It's 10 feet long. It used to be in somebody's kitchen. You can see where they used to knead the dough on it. But I don't even need art in my living room because that table is art. So, I don't know. I love the old stuff, man. I just love it.
Yeah. It was never my thing, but after, pretty much living over there at y'all's place, it changed my opinion on it.
Yeah. Because you can
100%.
still have the really nice modern couch. I've got 2 velvet couches in my living room flanking this 200-year-old table. But it works.
Yep.
It just works. So.
One of the things that we were talking about, last night is we were talking about how much, I know it's not just the Lord Jones home. It's not just Old South Construction. It's just, this is where you are now.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been so many things over the years and so much work that went into this and so much where, you have these things now, but that wasn't the case. You didn't start here.
No. I'm a coal miner and an LPN's daughter. And, our parents were raised in the generation of you get a really good job for a good company that offers good benefits, and you work. You work 5 to 6 days a week, and you save and you build a retirement, and then you retire. And Wesley and I both started in careers that's what it was. I was an ultrasound tech, and I was very, very good at what I did, and I loved what I did, and I'm a natural caretaker, so I enjoyed patient care. But then there was also an itch in both of us that we're capable of more than this. But when you're raised by people that ingrain that in you, we just thought that was what we're supposed to do. And so when we decided for me to make the jump into sales, which was terrifying because, when you're in a 9-to-5 at an hourly rate, you're like, I'm going to make this much money, this how much my taxes is. Like, you just know.
It's always going to be there.
It's always going to be there. But then you're going into sales and you're like, okay, I'm going to have a small salary, but then, like, I have to perform to make the money we really need to make. Am I capable of that? You have to be very self-motivated. And truthfully, I feel like because both of us kind of went into sales roles, he went from car production at Mercedes, went to being a car service advisor. Well, that's sales. You're talking to the customer every day. You're telling them the problem. You're selling them the repairs. And so we both kind of went into that sales, and then we both figured out we're really good at it. We're very good problem solvers, which is something you have to be as an entrepreneur. We're very good communicators, which is another part of it. And so we were doing very well at sales. So we started making a lot more money because of what we were doing in those jobs, but it was still a job. It was still a 9-to-5. And so from that, we were like, okay, like, what's next? And we're very, very spiritually led. And I told you last night, if it's not meant for you, it will go away. So God just shut those doors, kept opening new doors. And what's so funny is way back when I was at the hospital and he was doing car stuff, we had a lawn care business because we had a growing family and there wasn't enough money. And so I worked at the hospital, he worked his day job, we got off, we loaded the kids up. I would go and hook my Suburban up to a lawnmower trailer, go and cut grass until dark. Then we would go home and do homework and all the things. And we knew that there was more, that we wanted more. And so, but it took us going through all of those phases to figure out, A, how to work together really, really well. B, how to have the skill set to be an entrepreneur. So God was doing all of those things in preparation to get us to where we are. So
you didn't have people around you at that time that were entrepreneurs.
None.
And
none of our friends were, because your circle is typically people you work with. So everybody that we were friends with were leading the same kind of lives that we were. And we talked about it, but he and we enjoyed like the hours that we were cutting grass together. We really enjoyed, we're a weird couple and we like being together. And so we used to literally dream, be like, I really wish we could just work together every day. Like that would be my dream. And so then that's where manifestation and all of the things being really strategic about planning and goal setting and having those serious discussions really like started being a thing for us. So I started, and Steve Harvey does this, and I started writing down every little thing that I wanted for us. Every trip I wanted to take, vehicles I wanted to drive, what I wanted our house to look like, how much money I wanted in the bank, every little detail that I can think of. And then about once a year, I sit down and rewrite the list, and it is mind-boggling how the things that I used to think were absolutely unattainable, I'm just marking them off the list now. But the journey to us getting here was necessary because we wouldn't be who we are if we had not gone through those steps.
Was so much struggle involved in that.
Oh,
and
my
it's
gosh.
like,
being broke.
yeah.
Not knowing how we're going to pay our house payment or our car payment or buy groceries. I mean, we were that broke as young parents. I mean, we had a lot of kids at a very young age, and, it's expensive. It's just, we didn't have family money. We didn't have a family business feeding us a paycheck. Like, it was, if we need it, then we've got to make it.
It's like, I know we've talked about this a lot lately, but that phrase that we all love so much where somebody says it must be nice.
Yeah, must be.
And it
makes my, like, the hair on my back stand up. It's worse than nails on a chalkboard. I hate that phrase.
People only see where you are. They don't see what got you there.
The fight.
And I think that it's really easy for people to just write it off and just say, oh, well, they were rich kids, have no idea, right?
Yep.
They see success now and they go, well, they came from money, they didn't have to do anything.
Right.
And it's like, well, we didn't come from money, you don't know that, and but it doesn't really matter to them. I think more often than not, people are just looking for a reason to justify them not putting in the work themselves.
Right. And then too, as a female entrepreneur too, there's that whole side of it. And then I'm fairly decent looking, so then I've also had people who have judged me through my life of, well, you've gotten everything that you've just been given it because you're pretty. I can't stand that either. Right. Can't stand it. Or then the ones who want to assume that I'm just bougie because I'm spoiled rotten by my husband and that I just get what I want.
And that you're not working 12, 14 hours a day, every day.
Every single day. And I've always worked with 5 pregnancies, worked until birth. Just I have a lot of grind in me. And I want to have the pleasure of, I did that. I want that. Like there's nothing more satisfying than setting a goal for yourself as big as you want to go and achieving it. The car that I drive is one of those. Like I tell, like it's funny too because I get judged by the car that I drive because I was the first one in Tuscaloosa, and they announced my car, and I sent it to Wesley in a screenshot, and I was like, this was when I was still doing sales, and I was like, I'm gonna own her. Like I went on the Cadillac website and built her, and I was like, I will drive that. And he was like, do you know the sticker price? And I was like, I do. And he was like, how are we going to afford that? I said, don't worry about it. So then this was when I was doing sales, so I literally sat down and I looked at my commission structure and I was like, what would I have to sell to hit that before that car's announced? And I did a monthly goal, a quarterly goal, and the yearly goal. And I way surpassed it.
That's awesome.
And I had to have a car anyway because we play travel sports, and so the mileage on my cars are stupid. And so it got to where he was like, we've really got to get you another car. And I was like, okay, well, let's go shopping. Still did not expect to go get that car. We went and test drove several different cars, whatever. And then we pull on to the GMC lot, and I just assumed we had talked about looking at some Denali's. We were going to look at a Denali. And then my husband just like walked straight into the dealership, and I was like, what are you doing? He was like, just come on. So we go in there and we sit down with the sales manager, and he was like, he turned the screen towards me and he was like, so white? And I was like, what are we doing? He was like, we're building your Cadillac.
Oh.
And I was like, I looked at Wesley and I was like, what's happening? And he was like, we're not looking at another car. There's I'm going to cry. Like, you set this goal, you surpassed your goal, you're ordering your car. And so I built that car and I drive it. And it's like the biggest prideful thing. But then we would pull up somewhere, and somebody looks at my husband and they just assume that I'm the spoiled little, rich bitch. Mm-hmm. And they're like, oh my gosh, like, must be nice your husband buys that. And he literally quickly says, that ain't my money. Mm-mm. That's mama's money. But it was a goal I set.
I love that.
It's just the best feeling ever, man.
It's also the most Wesley Jones shit ever.
It is.
To just roll into the place and be like, hey, we're doing this.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Yeah. But like last night, not telling me, anybody else is joining us, or he is the king of surprising. Like our proposal was that way. And, our anniversary this year, I'll walk into Evangeline's and there's 27 roses sitting on our table that had been delivered by our son earlier in the day. A rose for every year of marriage. And he's just over the top, but I love it.
Yeah, the midnight Christmas gifts.
He loves that too. So this is a thing for him. So he'll plan a big Christmas gift, and we'll go through the whole day, which Christmas is like the one day of the year that everyone's at home. We're super lazy, pajamas all day. And then one of the years, I kid you not, we had already started falling asleep, and then his alarm went off at 11:50, and I'm like, what's happening? Why is your alarm going off? And he was like, it's still Christmas. And I was like, what are you talking about? And he was like, you have another Christmas present to open. What are you talking about? It was a trip to Europe for our 15th wedding anniversary that was coming up 2 months after Christmas. Yeah, he loves doing that stuff. He loves it.
Well, y'all have been together for
30 years.
Ever.
Yeah, 30 years.
That's crazy.
Yeah, from a blind date.
I will think that Rachel and I are doing good. I'm like, we're at 17 years, and that's a major accomplishment in itself.
It
and
is.
So I feel
I'm
like, man,
for these days, that's an accomplishment.
That is saying something. It was never really a question otherwise for us, but you guys since high school.
Yeah, I was 16.
And then all the way to now.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I love, and you guys really actually helped us more with this. This is part of where our date night stuff, really making this the priority.
Yeah.
Started once we started hanging out with you guys.
Yeah, we're very intentional.
Right.
But we learned that the hard way.
And it's so easy to just forget each other, especially like as busy as you both were for all these years. I mean, when you're doing all this stuff, it's if you've never worked with your spouse, first off, I say don't. But
Oh, I love
you
it.
have
Do it.
You have to. You really have to have the right relationship, and you guys do as well as us. You have to be able to talk shit to each other. You have to be able to
laugh.
Right. You got to be able to just let loose, have fun.
Yes.
Know when each other probably needs space. It's a lot of things, and communicate. And with most people, just don't know how to communicate to each other at all.
Yeah.
If you can communicate to each other, there's nothing that you can't do.
Right.
But I think communication for most people is the hard part. But for us, before we started the business, it was rough. Like it was rough because we didn't see each other.
Right.
So it was like the opposite of what you guys were doing, where you guys were just y'all are just working and grinding and grinding and grinding. And then I'm sure there's some struggle in there, that comes out of that. For us, it was just we were never around each other, so you just get cold and you just don't have that relationship. It was a big deal if we were able to ever go out on a date.
Right.
Much less what we do now, which is we work together all day, we spend time together, we hang out together at night, and then we still do date nights, and that might even be 2 nights a week. Mm-hmm. That may be one night of just her and I going over to a session, having a couple of cocktails.
Yeah.
Go home and cook, or go home and eat, just a quick, hour and a half, 2 hours to spend time together. Or, like last night, being able to, do double dates or go out with the group or go and do things. And I think it was game changing for us to be able to start prioritizing that relationship a little bit more.
Yeah. Of course, we've been together since we were so young. We've almost divorced multiple times. We have both went through very selfish phases, which is natural. I mean, the people you are at 16 and 19, which is the ages we were when we met, versus 46 and 48, which is where we are now, that's like 4 or 5 different versions of each of us.
100%.
And so, we learned the hard way that the parts of our marriage that were bad were, one, we had removed ourselves from God. We're both very spiritual people. So we were not prioritizing that. We were not spending time on the Word. And we weren't prioritizing each other. It was just me, which is also very natural. Lots of people go through those phases. But then we started figuring out, like, if we're going to make this work, then we have to be intentional. So why are we so intentional with our calendar that if we buy concert tickets, it goes on our calendar? If you plan a trip, it goes on your calendar. If you have a business dinner, it goes on your calendar. Why am I not putting my marriage in my calendar?
Man, that's such a good point.
Like, it should be there.
Right.
Without fail, it should be there. And so that's where our date nights come from. And truthfully, the reason it happened is we were on the verge of divorce, to the point that I was not saying I love you, because we had the discussion of, I don't love you right now. And he said, well, if you don't feel it, I don't want you to say it. So I didn't, because it was that bad.
Right.
And so he literally said, I'm going to date you again. I said, you can try. I was that cold. And a lot of women understand this, but when you're in a bad situation and you've cried till there's no more tears, I was there. He had not paid attention to the tears. So it all of a sudden was like him hitting a wall when he heard the words, I want out, I'm done. And so he literally was just like, I'm going to date you again, and I'm going to win you back. And so that's where dates came from. He was like, I don't know why I quit dating you, but I did. So we just started back, and we never stopped.
Wow.
Makes a huge difference, too.
Yeah. It's like you see the end result, but you don't see everything it took to get there.
The shit.
It's like people see.
It was bad.
It's wild when people see that and they're just like, oh, well, again, must be nice to have that marriage. Oh, must be nice to have it. It's like, well, it didn't.
No.
It wasn't this way.
No. We came through the trenches.
All of the shit that you go through, that ultimately it either makes you or breaks you.
It does.
And most people, I think, give up.
It's too easy.
It is.
to quit.
Yeah. And I think most people, they're just like, okay, and look, I'm not saying some people shouldn't. Like,
right.
Some people chose the wrong person.
Yes.
Like, I think we had talked about doing something where we, like, coach, young people who are, like, getting married. Because I think that would be something that Rachel and I could do.
Yes.
And you guys would be masters of that for sure. But, it was like, okay, if we did something like this, and then I was like, the problem is there's so many people now that are just trying to just hurry up and just, either they just want to do it out of the sake of what they think they're supposed to.
Right.
They're not waiting for the right person. They don't research this person. Like you guys, it's interesting because you did this so young, but you found the right person. It just maybe it's like they weren't that you had all these different iterations you have to go through.
It takes both people, Amanda, one of our good friends, she loves to say this, but I told her this a long time ago. I was like, your happiness in your marriage is a choice. It's not just the choice of whether or not you marry them. Every day when you wake up, that is your choice. You can choose to be ugly and to be hurtful with your words and to not give that person your all, especially when that other person is not being nice to you. But imagine what would happen if you chose every day to say, I don't care what kind of mood they're in. I don't care that they've not been very nice right now, but I'm gonna be the bigger person. So if you every day both people wake up and say, I choose you. I choose to be kind. I choose to be a cheerleader. I choose to put the dishes in the dishwasher. I choose to run the laundry for you. If you make those little choices every day in a selfless manner, all of a sudden, everything in your relationship completely shifts. Because even the person that's being hard and doesn't want to be the team player, something happens in someone when someone else is being selfless to them. It makes them want to be more selfless.
Right.
And so there's a lot of people who just throw in the towel and they're like, oh, well, they just won't change. Okay, what have you done to change? And so, what have you done? Because most people who are pointing the finger and pointing the blame and saying, and I'm guilty of this, Wesley and I both are guilty of this, but I read several books about like how to pray for my husband. Well, when I was praying for him, I was praying, please make him nicer. Please make him only want me. Please make him the spiritual leader I want him to be. Please make him, this, and this. When I read that book, it was, please help me to see him the way that you do. Please help me to see the moments that he is good. Because
you're just reframing this entire thing.
Completely. So that you're no longer beating up your spouse. Instead, you're praising the things they are. And then when your body language and your overall just energy towards them shifts to where now you're appreciating them for who they are, then they change. They start warming up. Then their words shift towards you. And it just completely changes the dynamic of the marriage.
Yeah, and that's so interesting because that's a great way to look at that. Like I said, you're just completely reframing the thing. I mean, nothing's really changing. You're just saying, okay, like you're kind of like investing yourself more into it and just being like, okay, I need to look beneath the surface. I need to see a little bit more. Yeah, I got to, it's because there's so much more that's happening, and it's easy to get resentful too. I mean,
and when you're in that cycle though, that's when and a lot of people don't even want to realize that they're being selfish. But when you're constantly requiring the other people in your life to change who they are to fit you, but you're not willing to shift who you are to meet them, then how are you any better than they are?
Right.
You're not.
Well, we all think that we're right.
Right.
We all tend to think that our way is the best way. And it's like I try to tell myself too, because it's like we'll kind of go through this, and it really changed everything for me. What you were talking about with, okay, let me just think about her a little bit more. And it was, because I remember we were just having all kinds of struggles and all this stuff. And I think when we first started doing this together, it was really tough because we never saw each other. Now we see each other all the time.
Yeah.
So now you're kind of having to relearn each other a
Yeah.
little bit too. Because when you start to push each other away, because there's a lot of change that kind of happens with both of you.
Mm-hmm.
So you really do have to relearn your spouse and
Yeah.
who they are and who they're becoming and whatnot. But when we added all this extra stuff, I noticed things at the house weren't getting done, and I was getting so frustrated. I was like, "God, she's just filthy, and she doesn't do this, and she doesn't do this." And then I was realizing, like, maybe it's because I've put all this extra work on her, and now she's flooded with this, and I'm not paying attention here, and I'm not seeing that she's struggling here, and so it's at that point where I started doing stuff like that. I was just like, okay, let me just get this so she doesn't have to.
It's
Let me
teamwork.
just one thing. Sometimes it's just something that takes you half a second, but it's just knowing, and I try to anticipate what she's going to want sometimes, and it's like, okay, it's been this kind of day. So I'm like, okay, hey, just a heads up. I've already got the kids taken care of. We're going over to session. We're going to go out for a little bit. And then I already know, okay, what it is that something that she's going to want to watch or something. I'm like, hey, we're going to go do this. Or whether it's just something she wants to have at the house or something that needs to be done that she would normally be the one doing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's to me, that's the game changer.
That effort, that little bit of effort goes a long way.
Yeah, it's just good to know that you're thinking about each other.
Yeah.
And I have this, for one, you're supposed to date your spouse, but I also think that you should spend your life trying to impress your spouse. Mm-hmm. I live by that. Like that's
every day.
That's when I'm in the gym and I'm working out. A lot of times I'm like, okay, I want to feel good. I want to look good for her. Like,
right.
I want her to be able to look at me and be like, oh,
yeah,
ooh,
that's
okay,
my man.
that chest is growing right there. Dude. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's just little things, and so I think that people get it wrong because they just get in their own. They get selfish. Mm-hmm. But it's natural to get selfish.
It is.
We're all selfish.
It's human
people.
nature.
We're all selfish people.
It's just human nature.
But when you get with someone and you start to just cohabitate in the same place, and then you start thinking about yourself all the time, not talking about it, not talking to each other, and
if you allow yourself to be married to a roommate, that ain't a marriage. And if you're acting like roommates, that's not marriage.
Right.
Like there's supposed to be love and affection and quality time and discussion and like I know couples that their most communication is texting each other. Like that's no. You need to talk to your spouse. Talk. Have real discussions. And then the other thing too, which we all talk about this because of our friend group. Our friend group are all extremely close couples. Like they're all just like us. Like they like being around each other. They like spending time together. And so the other thing that people just mess up is they hang out with people that are not the kind of relationships that they even want to be in. I'm like, if you're a married couple, why are you hanging out with a bunch of single people? Or why are you hanging out with married couples that hate each other? Like, because you will catch that.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say.
It's
that
like an
stuff,
infection.
Yes, that's exactly the word I was about to use. That will infect you 100%.
It's a cancer. Like, you need to be around like-minded people. So I feel like our friend group is like, and, we've had people that have, like, became friends with us, and they're like, our marriage has improved because of being around y'all. That is the biggest compliment to me, by the way, for someone to say, my marriage is stronger because we hang out with y'all now, because we want to be together. We enjoy being around each other. We've learned to laugh through the bad stuff. Like, that's the biggest compliment to me. The biggest compliment.
It's been a thing for us. Like, just being around you guys has definitely made both of us better. Yeah. It's made us better together. It's made us better separately. It's made this business is better. Everything about it, just because, and we talk about this a lot, but you're the, what's the word I'm looking for? I want to say you're the result or the summation of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Mm-hmm. And I see people all the time that are hanging out with, it's like if you have dreams and you have goals and you hang out with people that don't have dreams and don't have goals, you will go nowhere.
Nope.
If that's where you spend your time is with that, and people that don't have the same values, they don't have the same ideals, you're probably going to be stuck, and you're never really going to be able to go somewhere until you get rid of that.
The biggest way to kill a huge dream is to speak it to a small-minded person.
Yep.
Period.
10 times
out
of 10.
Really, really big dreams. I have stuff that God has put in my head, and I am creeping on 50 years old that I'm like, why am I even thinking I'm capable of achieving this? But he wouldn't put it in my head if it wasn't something he had planned for me. But I also am not ever hesitating to tell y'all about it, because the first thing all of y'all are going to say is, when?
Let's go.
Let's go. What do we got to do? What do you need? Whereas I have had friends in the past that if I said that, they'd be like, man, that's crazy. Why don't you just enjoy where you're at? Or why do you want so much more? Or why can't you just be complacent? That is not in my vocabulary.
Well, it's not what got you here.
It's not. And I just, like, and I told you when we went to Exuma, like, I just have completely changed the way Wesley and I discuss all of those things. We never, ever, ever use the words now, I wish I had, or that would be nice. We don't speak about anything in that way. We say, when we get, when we purchase, when we go there. That is how we verbalize all of our things. I still have to catch him occasionally because he'll let one out, and I'll look at him and he knows, immediately. And he'll be like, I'm sorry. When we buy, like that's how we speak things, because no is not in our vocabulary.
Well, it shouldn't be. And you get the people that they want things, and I think some people are capable of trying to get this, but most people aren't willing to do the work. They don't want to put in the time. Mm-hmm. And they will drag you, in my experience, they will drag you down because they don't want you to have that either. Because if you have it, then again, it's like, oh, so it's possible.
Right.
Because for most people, it's easier just to say, well, that's not possible.
Right.
It's like, well, anything's possible because somebody did it.
Right.
I mean, if Elon Musk is worth, $800 billion now or something like that.
So many zeros.
Then somebody else can do it too.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's possible.
Oh, I know.
I mean, yeah, we're on a different IQ level, but, I mean, you can do what you want. Mm-hmm. There's no reason to write yourself off. Yeah. And so I love, like, this group of people, which I'm so thankful to be a part of. If it wasn't for Jen, which I forever owe, like, because she's kind of connected this together, and I can't imagine what I've been doing with the last 2 years of my life.
Not been in my backyard every day.
Pretty much, like I said, about 2, 3, 4 days a week. It was funny when we went to Cancun that first time. I remember we were talking, we were meeting people, and then they were asking about the group, and you were like, yeah, we hang out like 4 or 5 days a week. Yeah. And you're not really lying. Kidding. Yeah, it's 100%.
Yeah. I mean, like, we're at all of our kids' sporting events. Like, I mean, the other night when the wind came out of nowhere, that was so flipping cold, when it had been 80 degrees, like, I'm sitting there at my 8-year-old's baseball game, and I turned around, and, like, a group of our friends are, like, huddled up under a blanket watching a baseball game, like, just so that we can be present for each other. Mm-hmm. But, like, our people like being our people, and it's great. I
think that's one of the worst things about culture and what I see now is how many people don't have that. Mm-hmm. Specifically in relation to women. Mm-hmm. It was one of the things that we noticed when we first started doing this, is that so many women struggle with the same things, but they don't talk about it. They don't talk about it out loud. They don't have support. They don't talk to each other about stuff, unless you have that one lifelong best friend that you've known since you were 12, and you still take that person out. Right. Yeah. Take that random, occurrence. Most people are just isolated themselves, and even if they have friends, a lot of times it's just an echo chamber of something that somebody that's
yes people. Yep.
And I don't want that.
I don't want to. I
don't. That's insane to me. I don't even let Rachel talk to me that way.
Yeah.
I'm like, everything isn't great. Everything isn't perfect. I want you to talk to me about it. Like, give me some critiques. Let's work through this, because we're trying to grow. We're trying to get better. But if you don't have people that push you and have people that you can just even just fellowship with, like it's unbelievable. Like we spent so much time working and building this business and doing things that we really had isolated ourselves from everyone. Like we had,
it's just not healthy.
My best friend lived in Auburn and hers was in Birmingham, and we saw neither of them ever. And so it was one of those things that when we got this, it was like that missing piece that all of a sudden it was just a game changer. Yeah. It changes everything. And
the difference in your girls too.
Oh, yes.
Like, it's so funny because like all of our kids just think they're cousins. There is zero blood relation between any of them, but they legit just think they're all cousins, which is like the best thing ever.
Yeah. I mean, I love it because family is, you can make a family. It doesn't have to be like, I think
that's why we're family.
Yep. That's it. And it's awesome. But I think that so many women just lack that girl group. And it was one of the things you guys all went to, Birmingham for Saturday. Was it Saturday night over into Sunday? Everybody goes out, you have a great time. There's no drama. It's just fun. Everybody's just.
I don't know. We just had fun. We had a cry moment. We had our.
Oh, if you're there, there's gonna be a cry moment.
You gotta have a cry moment, but we also we have serious discussions. Like we talk about business. We talk about our families. We talk about our marriages. We talk about goals. Like we push each other, which our entire friend group does that. But all of the women too, we all really push each other. We really do, which is fabulous. About our health. We have real discussions about menopause and all the fun stuff that comes with being a female. But we're not afraid to have those discussions. We know that we're safe. And every woman needs that. Every woman. And the dudes do too. I'm so proud that y'all have that. Because there's a lot of guys that want to say that they have friends, but they really don't. They don't have a dude that they can, help hold themselves accountable by, or say, hey, I'm really not doing good, like I need help. And because of our friendships, now all of y'all have that too. It's great.
Yeah, you don't realize how much you need it until you're there. It's just like that. It's just like having that new space, and I've been living in that bedroom for almost a year now, or however long it's been since. It's probably we're coming right up on a year, I think, from it being done. And I still just feels just amazing every time I go into it. But it's the same thing when we don't see y'all for a week. Yeah. I don't see you for a freaking week. And then we show up for Sunday dinner and it's just like,
oh Justin, are you telling me you miss me?
Maybe not you. I'm kidding.
Everybody needs to know, we love each other to death, but we have a very fun friendship between ours. We're hard on each other.
You should be. You're supposed to be. It's not if it's too easy.
I know I'm female, but there's a lot of me that's kind of male. I'm very dominating, I guess is the word. Intimidating. Really? I don't know whatever words you want to use. What's funny is so I was bullied in high school pretty badly, and so I was not this at all. Kind of thought I was the ugly duckling. Just I did not have a lot of friends. I was just not treated very nice. And so I had to become this. I became this because of my husband, because he is the one that kept telling me, you're beautiful, you're amazing, you're power, all of the things. And, to become this, I came from that. So it's, I don't know. I guess I'm a little pushy now, but that's who I am now.
I like it. It's fun. It's fun. It that actually helps Rachel a lot.
Yeah.
Rachel being this female business owner, and I remember, the person that she was when we got together and the person she is now, it's not even remotely close to the same human being.
Yeah.
And I'm thankful for that, because it's like she's grown, and every week it's like she grows and does more.
Yeah.
The more time she spends around this group, because you're all these just badass, just powerhouses, just all within yourselves. I mean, that's what's so fun is this isn't just I don't care what anybody says. This group of women that I spend 3-4 days a week with, this is the hardest working group of women and the most all driven, badass. I mean, I don't even know, there's not enough adjectives. I'm not that smart. So I can't go down the list, but I could keep going, because every last one of y'all can outwork almost anyone on their best day.
Oh yeah.
And all of y'all show up every day.
Yep.
And it's awesome and inspiring, and I know that helps her, and that's like giving her stuff to look up to, and you know, she learns so much from that, and she's the same. She's just driven and hardworking, but now she's kind of learning how to own herself.
Yeah.
Like own her looks. Like it's like I have to tell her, I'm like, it's okay to be confident. It's okay to look sexy. It's okay to do all of these things that maybe somewhere in society they said you can't do, but you can.
Yep.
And she picks up a lot of that from you guys, and
The sexiest accessory any woman can own is confidence.
right.
I can walk into a room with nothing but billionaires, and I will not skip a beat. It does not bother me. I can talk to anybody because they put their pants on just like I do. And I don't care how much money they have or don't have. I've not had and I will have. Doesn't affect me. And so many women want to just bow down and think, you know, like several of the jobs I've had have been male dominant, all men. I don't care. I'll outsell them. Doesn't bother me. But if I wish someone had have pulled young Lori aside and told me those things, like, do not cower, do not think you're not capable. Like, it's really a really good feeling. It's pretty fabulous. And then the fact that I'm loved by a man who is not intimidated by it, because not every man can handle it. There are a lot of men out there that want to say that they're big, bad, macho men, but they could not handle being married to a me. Can't handle it. My husband doesn't care. He literally will be like, if yours takes off to the point that I cannot work anymore and I just have to support you, don't care. I'm here for it. Whatever. We do not care. So.
I love it because he definitely leaves the ego at the door.
Oh.
There's like not a bit of it.
Nope. Because we come from humble beginnings.
Right.
Like, started in a mobile home. I can go right back to one if I need to. It does not bother me at all.
I feel like it's hard, you know, for some women to get out of, you know, again, maybe it's just the way you were raised or way that you were, you know, like we talked about in the beginning of this, where, and it's not like with ill intent, it's just people being raised based off of what, you know, your parents think that the world should be or is. And for, you know, mine, I didn't grow up with entrepreneurial parents. That's not their fault.
Yeah.
They did what
They were
everybody else did.
Yeah.
Hey, get a good job, stay there. My mom's been at the same job for over 30 years. She does fantastic. You know, my dad worked in, you know, regular jobs his whole life. I mean, he did some side work stuff as every blue collar worker does, but
Right.
but there was no push for whatever to do this. I know even just me saying I was going to go work for the police department seemed far fetched for them. It was like,
Yeah.
well, you need to be here and get the job, get the insurance, and live this way and do this stuff. And so it's like people, you know, and I just say that to say in the same way that exists, it's people are taught, well, you're supposed to just be quiet. You're supposed to be submissive, and you're supposed to just do what everybody says, and don't be the person that's considered, like, it's just all of these little things. And then at the end of the day, it's just like, yeah, but that's not, I don't think anybody should live that way.
No. And this is not, I mean, granted, the way that I am and the way that our business is and the people that we are is not meant for everybody.
Right.
Everybody doesn't want this life. Some people do not want to be entrepreneurs. A lot of women want to be the quiet one in the corner that nobody hears talk. But there's also a whole lot of women that don't want to be that. And they just got to quit being scared of not fitting in the box that they think they're supposed to be in. And a lot of that, unfortunately, is the relationship they're in is not allowing them to be the woman they're supposed to be.
I've seen a lot of that.
Yeah.
Doing what we do, I see a lot of a situation where someone wants more, but
Their partner will not allow it.
right.
Yeah. And that's sad. I think that's, and I don't understand it either. I don't understand anyone ever wanting who they're with to be less. I can't wrap my brain around it. I really can't, because I feel like that's where I started. That's kind of who I was. Wesley has built me up to not be that, but that's where I started. but I'm way more attractive being who I am now than who I was then. Like, I'm a completely different female, completely different.
I think you've changed in the last year.
I have. I've shifted more, and there's more coming. It's weird. I literally have these like super long discussions with God, but I'm in I don't even know what this phase is called, but I kind of feel like I'm a flower, and like there's this, like, it's coming up out of the ground, and like I don't even know what's ahead, but I feel it. I'm having a lot of quiet time right now, just trying with myself, just digging through that, because I don't really know what all it is. I'll probably be surprised myself by some of it.
Right.
I don't know, but I've gone through a couple phases of this, but this is the biggest one I feel coming.
Well, I think spending time with yourself and like silence I think it's a game changer.
It is.
I think that's almost like
making notes, actually writing your thoughts down. Like, I have a whole notebook of just, sometimes I just need to get some of my brain out, like let it out. And then I just have really, really long discussions with God. Really long. He probably gets tired of me. I know he doesn't, but
still.
like, it's like I literally have like that long of discussions with him where I'm just like, I know something big's coming. I know you're getting me ready for it. I know you're opening doors that I don't even know are being opened. You're introducing me to people that are going to be a part of it. I know that my name is being spoken in rooms that I'm not in. I already know that. Like, I can feel it. But it's exciting when you know. Like, it's just like, ooh, what's coming?
Well, you've trusted the process already.
Yeah.
So just trust the process. It's not all going to be easy.
Yeah.
We're going to
not scared.
Yep. We're going to take steps forward. We're going to fall back a little.
Yeah.
And then we're going to take bigger steps forward, and we're just going to keep doing that over and over.
Yep.
You're just going to shorten the amount of time in between failures until eventually you get to where you're going. But I don't think that you ever actually get to. I think that the thing that people misunderstand is there's no destination. Mm-hmm. Like, it's just about
constant movement towards that.
Yep.
So Matthew McConaughey has got a speech out there, and it's one of my favorite things. And if I ever get like down where I'm like, what am I doing? Like, why am I in this funk? I pull it up and listen to it. And his thing, he was one of the award shows. I can't remember. If you Google it, you'll find it. But it talks about somebody asked him who he looks up to. And he was like, me in 10 years. In 10 years, I want to look back and be like, that me was getting here. So if you're constantly striving to be the biggest, better you in 10 years, you're never going to fail because you're holding yourself accountable. So why look up to someone who you don't know? Just push yourself to be that person. It's good stuff.
I like it.
I know. It's my favorite.
I'm going to have to look that one up.
Oh, it's really good. I get emotional every time I watch it because I'm like, yes. Also, it's Matthew McConaughey, so like.
Yeah, well, he can read the phone book, and it's just a thing.
He's Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah. I told you, we had a friend, I think I had told you this one, but we had a friend, she's a photographer in Austin, and her mother lives over in Georgetown. Georgetown's like the nice, rich area, and it's like one of, like, everything there is just so nice. And so she was over there visiting, and she's like, I'm in the grocery store looking at the sushi, and all of a sudden, this guy in my ear was like, so which one are you thinking about? And like,
and it was him.
And she turned, and she's like, I knew. She was like, at
I
that
think she
point,
had
you just
chills.
felt it. And she was like,
Yes.
I just wanted to melt.
Uh-huh.
And then she was like, I turn, and it's him. And he just sits there just casually talking to me about the sushi.
Everybody says he's like the coolest normal guy, which is just the best, even better.
But like, I can't imagine being one of the most famous, recognizable humans to have ever existed. That's sought after by every female that's ever existed, and will exist, and still be normal.
Oh, I know. It's the best thing.
When somebody like that talks, you listen.
Oh, absolutely. I'm telling you, search that up. It's good stuff.
Okay, I'm going to have to do that. Well, Lori, I appreciate you. This is
We
fun.
knew this was going to fly by.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a couple of these.
I want to do more. That's why I was like, there's so many things I want to talk about, but then
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I want to have you back on again.
Yeah.
Do this once a month. Do it whatever.
Yeah.
You know. So for anyone that wants to find you for any of the things, where do they need to go to?
I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Lori Jones Home. Okay. Yep.
And then those of you who are still looking for the best med spa in all of Tuscaloosa, in my opinion, all of Alabama, check out Lush. If you see the studio, Lush is about 400 yards that direction.
Yeah.
I don't know what direction it was. Took a second.
That way.
Yep, that way. So.
And if there's any people that aren't in Tuscaloosa and would like design consults, I do lots of stuff for out-of-state people. Luckily, we have FaceTime and all the things, so it's actually pretty easy to design from afar. So I also do that too.
And if you want to see some of her other work, you can go check out over at the Sanctuary here in town. I think you guys did pretty much all of the design,
everything, yeah,
top to bottom.
Now Matt and Nikki had the idea and the vision of what they wanted it to be, right. But yeah, I pulled it all together and all the decisions and all the things.
Fantastic job.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, it's been fun. Hate that it took this long to get to it, but we'll do it again soon.
Yeah, now that we've done it, like it, you know, it's fine. It'll be riding a bike.
Awesome. Well, thank you. For everyone that's listening, we appreciate it, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.
Now the part where I pray a little.